we have just wrapped up the 2024 NRHA Futurity and the North American Adequan Affiliate Championships. Whew! There's really nothing quite like the NRHA Futurity. They call it the world's richest reining, and the buzz of anticipation in the air, the rhythmic echo of hooves in the arena, and just that unshakable sense that you are watching something extraordinary unfold. It is where the best of the best come to shine, and every ride carries the weight of years of preparation. So I am so thrilled to share with you today 5 insider lessons from 440 entries at the NRHA Futurity. Welcome to the Resilient Reiner, the premier podcast focused on mental performance for equestrians and improved horse show performance. Whether you're a rookie reiner or a seasoned competitor, this show is for riders who want to take their skills to the next level and achieve their full potential in the show ring. I'm Nicole Burnett, and I'm a master mindset coach who's obsessed with helping you achieve all those horse dreams you always thought were impossible. Join me each week to develop a show-ready mindset and gain the competitive edge you need to compete with confidence. Howdy, y'all, and welcome back to the Resilient Reiner podcast. I am your host, Nicole Burnett. This year, I had the absolute privilege of watching at the Futurity and at the NAAC Championships, not just as a fan, soaking up the magic, but also as a coach, constantly observing and analyzing. So in the Futurity, there's 440 entries. And let me tell you, watching 440 entries back to back, it isn't just entertainment. It is an education. Every rider, every pattern, every single moment in that arena had something to teach. From the breathtaking precision of a flawless run to the grace it takes to recover from a misstep, the lessons were as diverse as the riders themselves. And shout out, of course, to champion, level 4 open champion Casey O'Rourke. Amazing, beautiful ride. So even from afar, as I sat there with my notebook and my cup of coffee, cheering quietly for personal favorites and soaking in the energy of the event, I started to realize something. The NRHA Futurity isn't just about reining. It is about showing up, putting it all on the line, and learning. Every step, every stop, every spin. Here's what I learned from 440 of the best runs in the sport. These lessons aren't just for the show pen. They are for every rider who wants to grow, thrive, and perform their best, no matter the stakes. Lesson number 1, precision and preparation rule the day. This makes my over-planning, over-preparation, recovering perfectionist heart so happy. All right, enough of that. Now, it didn't take seeing all 440 goes for something to become clear. The riders who dominated the Futurity, they were not just talented. They were prepared to the last detail. Every maneuver was deliberate, every transition smooth, and every cue subtle yet unmistakably effective. So watching these runs reminded me that precision is not something that you wing in the moment. It is built at home in those countless hours of repetition and refinement. The polished stops and seamless lead changes, they were not accidents. They were the product of consistent, intentional practice. And I know it might be surprising to hear a mental coach talk about regular practice. But like I tell my clients, regular, consistent practice is at the heart of your preparation, both in the saddle and in your mind. Whether it is perfecting a sliding stop or mastering your mental game, success is always rooted in application. It's rooted in repetition. What you do daily matters way more than what you only do under pressure. The riders who nailed their runs didn't just focus on their horses. They worked on themselves, their body language, their timing, their ability to stay fully present in the moment. It was just as sharp as their patterns. And this comes out because you can see in those top riders, like if you watch the level 4 finals, for example, there were so many moments where you could see the horse wasn't fully finished in a maneuver. Now, I'm not saying they weren't amazing and great. Like, these horses are still doing amazing. But for example, you might see like a horse being really like pushing in the bridle, or the rider picks up the reins. They're kind of holding your horse a little bit. And it's all about, they are showing the heck out of those horses, okay? They're like, I know how I'm going to get a plus on this maneuver. I know how I'm going to do it. And so as the horse, progresses into its derby years, they'll probably be able to relax even more. But it's that ability, again, to stay fully present in the moment. And they're just riding that horse. They're like, it is what it is. If my horse is super hot because they're feeling this energy on finals night, well, I'm riding what I have. And that is so key. And that does not just happen, right? You know that if you've gone to a show and your horse is a little pushy, or you haven't quite finessed the maneuver to where you want it to be, like what you've done at home to prepare mentally and in the saddle matters when it comes time to deliver. Okay, I'm starting to ramble. Let's move on. So, takeaway for you. Precision is a partnership. It starts with you showing up every single day, working not just on your horse's skills, but also on your own clarity and your own consistency. It is about doing the little things well, doing those little things well over and over and over, so that they become second nature when it matters most. All right, lesson number 2. Confidence is king. Watching 440 entries at the NRHA Futurity, one thing stood out above all else. The riders who truly shone, they did not just have talent, they radiated confidence. It wasn't loud or flashy, right? Like if you watched, again, I'm going to call out Casey O'Rourke, amazing, beautiful run. It's not overly loud or flashy, but she was owning that pen, okay? You could see it in how they carried themselves. They walked or loped or jogged, depending on the pattern, but they came into that pen like they belonged there. And that energy carried through every stride of their ride. I'm not kidding when I say there is a winning energy that some riders have and that commands your attention. And yes, I literally saw judges sit up in their chairs and take notice when that happened, right? They might slouch a little, and then some rider would come in with that confidence and that winning energy, and the judges would literally sit up in their chairs. Confidence is the quiet edge that separates good from great. It is what allows a rider to stay composed when the unexpected happens. A horse hesitating on a rollback or a sudden bobble in a spin. Instead of falling apart, confident riders adjust, recover, and keep going like nothing happened. But here's the secret. Confidence doesn't just magically show up on show day. It is something that you build long before you ever step into an arena. It is the result of preparing, getting your self-talk on point, visualizing success, and trusting yourself and your horse. As a mental coach, I can tell you this. Confidence isn't just about believing that you'll win. It's about trusting that no matter what happens, you'll be okay. You can handle it. That trust allows you to stay calm, to stay present and focused, even when the stakes feel overwhelming. So takeaway for you, confidence isn't born, it's built. It comes from knowing that you've done the work, that you have been rehearsing success in your mind, and leaning on your preparation when doubts creep in. The best riders, they don't hope they'll perform well. They know that they're ready because they've done the mental and physical work to back it up. Okay, lesson number 3. Mistakes don't define the run. One of the most striking things I noticed while watching the Futurity was how even the best riders made mistakes. A dragged lead here, a slightly off-center stop in your spins there. It happened to everyone. But the real difference, the top riders didn't let those mistakes rattle them. Instead of dwelling on what went wrong, they moved on immediately. It's like they had an internal switch that flipped the moment something didn't go as planned. Next maneuver. They did not waste precious energy replaying the mistake in their heads or trying to make up for it in a panic. They simply refocused and stayed in the moment. As riders, we often get hung up on perfection. We think one mistake, one misstep is going to ruin everything. But it's rarely the case. What really matters is how you recover. Judges can forgive a small error in one maneuver if the rest of the run is strong. But if your mistake spirals into a breakdown, that's when your score is going to take a hit. My takeaway for you, mistakes are inevitable. Embrace it, or at least accept it. So mistakes are inevitable, but they don't have to define your ride or your confidence. Remember, I talked about this just a week or two ago in a recent podcast. The ability to recover quickly and refocus is what separates strong riders from the rest. Learning to let go of perfection and stay present, this is a skill that you can build, absolutely, just like any other aspect of your riding. Okay, and lesson 4, connection with your horse is everything. If there was one thing that truly separated the unforgettable rides at the Futurity from the rest, it was the bond between horse and rider. You could see it in the way that they moved together, like a seamless partnership built on trust, clarity, mutual respect. These riders weren't just commanding their horses, they were communicating with them. Their cues were subtle, sometimes often invisible, but the horses responded like they could read their riders' minds. That kind of connection doesn't happen by accident. It's the product of hours spent building trust, both in the saddle and on the ground. Watching these moments reminded me of something important. The best runs are not about forcing perfection. They're about working with your horse, not against them. It's about listening as much as you're asking and creating an environment where your horse feels confident, relaxed, and ready to give their best. What's my takeaway for you? Connection with your horse is your greatest competitive advantage. It is not about fancy maneuvers. It's about developing a partnership where your horse feels safe, understood, and willing to work with you, even under pressure. The stronger your bond, the better you will work and perform together. And being a confident rider is really going to help with developing that bond, that trust, and that connection. Okay, and lesson 5. Every rider has a story. As I watched rider after rider take their turn in the pen, one thing became clear. Every competitor out there had a journey that led them to the Futurity. For some, it was years of consistent wins building to this moment. For others, it was a story of struggle, overcoming injuries, financial hurdles, or self-doubt to even get there. It's easy to watch a polished, high-level performance and assume that it's all talent or luck. But behind every run, there's a story of grit, determination, and countless hours of work. And here's the thing, those stories matter. They are not just background. They're the foundation of everything that happens in the arena. This made me think about how often we downplay our own progress. Maybe you're not at the Futurity yet, but that doesn't mean that your journey isn't meaningful. Whether it's mastering a challenging maneuver, overcoming a fear, or just showing up consistently, every step you take is part of your unique story as a rider. So, my takeaway for you is don't compare your chapter 3 to somebody else's chapter 20. Your story is your own, and it's what makes you and your riding unique. Celebrate the progress that you've made, no matter how small it feels. It's those little victories that add up to the big ones. Okay, let's wrap it all up and what it all means for you. So, watching the highs and the lows at the NRHA Futurity, I was reminded of what makes this sport so incredible. It is not just the breathtaking slides or the flawless spins. It's about the people and the horses and the stories behind them. Every ride told a lesson, whether it was about preparation, connection, confidence, or resilience. But here's the thing. You don't have to compete at the Futurity to take all of these lessons to heart. These principles apply to every rider at every level. Precision, so I'll recap them here. Precision and preparation start at home with consistent practice and intentional effort on both your mindset and your technical skills. Confidence comes from believing in yourself. It's built one ride at a time. Mistakes are part of the journey, but they don't define your story. Connection with your horse is your secret weapon. It's one that transcends the arena. And your unique journey is what makes it all worthwhile. So whether you are riding in your backyard, schooling for your next show, or dreaming of the Futurity stage one year, remember, every moment in the saddle is a chance to grow. The lessons are always there if you're willing to look for them. This week, I challenge you to pick one of these lessons and one of these 5 and make it your focus. Maybe it is spending extra time bonding with your horse, letting go of a mistake faster, or simply celebrating how far you've come. Small shifts create big changes over time. And if you are ready to dive deeper into the mental side of riding, the confidence, resilience, and focus it takes to thrive in and out of the show pen, I'm here to help, because the Futurity finals highlight the best of the best. But the lessons, those are for all of us. Ride on with confidence, cowboy. Whether you are headed to a high stakes event or simply striving to improve, the strategies that I have shared today, they can help you, and they will help you to show up with confidence and perform at your best when it matters most. So get out there, take it with you, and ride on with confidence. And if you're ready to take the next step, remember that preparation isn't just about putting in the hours. This is about practicing for success and planning for chaos. If you want to bridge the gap between preparation and execution, I can help. If you're ready to close the preparation gap in your own riding, now's the time to take action. You've already seen the difference it makes when riders blend intentional practice with mental preparation. Success doesn't just happen. It's created through focused effort, deliberate reflection, and resilience in the face of the unexpected. Inside Resilient Reiner Academy, I teach you how to build these skills step by step so that you can confidently handle the pressure of competition and deliver your best when it counts. Imagine stepping into the show pen knowing you've prepared for anything and trusting yourself to execute no matter what. Whether your goal is a blue ribbon at the NRHA Futurity or simply leveling up your riding, the tools to get there are within your reach. Don't leave it to chance. Take the next step and join me in bridging the gap between where you are and where you want to be. Thanks so much for being here. Talk again soon.